We have a lot of stuff to go through here in today's video for Cold War Zombies. All Season 6 Zombies content we're expected to see, the DLC 4 gameplay trailer, and a lot of good stuff. If you guys are new and would like to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. And be sure to drop a like on the video as well. Very quickly, I want to give a big thank you to Call of Duty, Sledgehammer Games, whoever was involved to send me over these sick Vanguard posters. It was a surreal moment for me. Call of Duty replied to my tweet. Sledgehammer Games retweeted my tweet. I mean, I've been playing Call of Duty for so many years now, since 2010, 2011. I've been uploading Call of Duty videos since 2012, 2013, around when Black Ops 2 came out. So as a fan of Call of Duty and a YouTuber now, I could have never imagined being sent this stuff from Call of Duty. So if anyone over at Call of Duty, Sledgehammer Games, Treyarch, Raven Software are watching this video, I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for that. But let's go through here some DLC 4 news. The final Zombies map in this game. Twitter support tweeted something out about them improving the video quality of videos on Twitter, and Treyarch responded with this: next week seems like a good time to put this to the test, with a zombies emoji here. So first of all, clearly they're saying DLC 4 gameplay trailer next week or this upcoming week. Super hype here. Let's break this down. What exactly are we going to see? So the beginning of next week, I'm expecting to see some preliminary gameplay trailers, some teaser videos, nothing too major, not the full gameplay trailer for the map just yet, but just some early videos. With matterzx, we saw very short videos, around 15 to 20 seconds of gameplay, some cinematics of the map itself. I mean, think about it, for DLC 4, all we've seen are these tweets on Twitter, different images of the map, different shots of the new boss, but nothing really in the actual map itself, no gameplay, no cinematics. So we're going to get that early next week, and then later on in the week, Thursday, which is the exact 1 week point until Season 6 releases, I would expect to see the full DLC 4 gameplay trailer, which is super hype. But not only that, think about for the past maps as well. Firebase Z, they did this stuff. matterzx, they did this stuff. We have all different gameplay teasers, a huge blog post going through all different parts of this update, and then more importantly, an inside DLC 4 video on the Monday or Tuesday right before the map releases. Those videos are so cool because the developers hop on the stream and they talk about all new details on what the map's going to be about, the new features, the new wonder weapon, all of the good stuff. So that inside DLC 4 video should be early next week, right before the map comes out. That's going to be a really sick video. And then that Thursday, October 7th, the map will officially release. So that's the timeline here. The next 2 weeks are going to be really exciting for fans of Cold War Zombies, with all of this new DLC 4 news, reveals, gameplay, and the actual release of the map. Now, in terms of other Zombies content for Season 6, I've talked a lot in the past couple of videos, past week or so, about all the different perk possibilities we could see for this final perk in this game. We went through all different concepts, PhD concepts, double tap concepts, other BO4 perks like Winter's Wail, Blaze Phase, all of that different stuff. I'm going to take a break from talking about perks for this video just to give you guys a little break here. I'm going to have another perk video coming very soon. This week, we're most likely going to get the final perk revealed anyway. And later on this week, we'll probably have a blog post like they normally do with all the new DLC perks where they reveal the tiers of this perk. So we're going to get that info very soon, but I want to take a break from that. But you can still leave your theories, your ideas down below as to what you think the final perk will be in the game. But we know for sure Season 6, one final DLC perk. Other Zombies content other than the round-based map. For Outbreak, Treyarch already confirmed that Armada was the last new Outbreak map, which is sad for some people. Other people might be happy about that news. We could see another objective added for Outbreak. As for a third main quest for the mode, that's most likely not going to happen. People had theorized it might release before DLC 4. I said it would have been cool if we saw some type of matterzx prologue, but instead a DLC 4 prologue. If you guys don't remember, the second main quest Easter egg for Outbreak was pretty much a matterzx prologue that gave us storyline and brought us into that next round-based map. So it would have been cool to see for Season 5 Reloaded, for example, the third main quest be some type of DLC 4 prologue, and that mini Outbreak Easter egg would give us all details about, Omega and Requiem fighting to go into the Dark Ether to save Zykov, and then being, confronted by the Forsaken, and then that will bring us into the final battle with the Forsaken boss in DLC 4. That would have been sick. Again, that's most likely not going to happen, as DLC 4 is pretty much confirmed to release at the launch of Season 6, but that would have been cool. But other stuff for Outbreak, I can't see there being anything else really besides for an objective. So that's that for Outbreak. And for field upgrades, we're pretty much done with that from the info we had when the game first came out. All of the field upgrades in that original list already released, unless there's a secret field upgrade they still want to release. I doubt we're going to have any more in this game. Most likely, we're not going to see any new ammo mods added to Cold War Zombies as well. We might see some new stuff in Vanguard Zombies, new ammo mods, field upgrades on top of the ones we have right now, but we'll talk about that in a future video. And for other Cold War Zombies Season 6 stuff, as for new game modes, potentially, Outbreak, I think there's going to be no more game modes here, but for the round-based maps, maybe we could see, I mean, it would be a dream to see Grief finally added to Cold War Zombies. At this point, I just can't see it happening. If they did add Grief into Cold War, I would be kind of tight because it would have been great to have Grief at the launch of Cold War Zombies, to be able to play that mode the entire year, to be able to not only have 4v4 Grief, but maybe 8v8 Grief, and maybe Grief with objectives, or Grief on the Outbreak maps. Imagine having 4v4 on Outbreak, fighting to see who can complete the Outbreak objective first. That may have made people who didn't originally like Outbreak play it a bit more, because now they have this competitive new element to it. But again, who knows what they're thinking behind the scenes. Maybe there's a reason as to why they didn't add Grief, and I'm not saying Grief would have been a complete game changer for people who didn't like Cold War Zombies, but as a fan of zombies, as a fan of Cold War, it would have been cool to see. So at this point, they're better off just adding Grief at the launch of Vanguard Zombies so we can enjoy it the entire year. So again, Grief, it would be sick. Probably not going to happen for Cold War Zombies Season 6. Other game modes as well. I mean, we talked about the leaks for Gauntlets from BO4, that game mode Rush from BO4, custom mutations from BO4 Zombies, all being added to Cold War. Now, we originally talked about this a while ago, and we're not so sure if that stuff was just like leftover code that they kind of had in the files of Cold War, or Treyarch actually originally had plans to add all of that stuff to Cold War Zombies. But regardless now, I mean, it would have been cool to see, but most likely it's not going to happen unless there is some surprise we don't know about. That would be super, super cool, but at this point, again, it's not going to happen. So maybe for a Year 2 DLC season, or again, maybe for Vanguard Zombies, they decide to bring all of these features over to that mode to really entice people to play it. It's just not going to happen for Season 6. So for Season 6 Zombies, as for actual content, I think we're really just getting the DLC 4 map, the perk, a new Outbreak objective maybe, but that's pretty much it. And it's not a bad thing, because DLC 4, it's a round-based map. I mean, anytime they release a round-based map, it's a super big deal, and it could be a really sick map, and it could even top Mauer der Toten as the best Cold War Zombies map. I mean, I'm assuming most people put Mauer der Toten at number 1, and maybe DLC 4 could be that next best map in the game. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting right now as for overall DLC content for Zombies in Season 6. And let's talk a little bit about the timeline here. And do you want a Season 6 Reloaded update? Because as we've seen before, as I've talked about before, Season 6 should be a relatively smaller season in terms of overall content, not just zombies, but, you know, the game at large. We're getting that round-based map, but for MP, operators, new modes, I can't see them doing that much. And the main reason for that is probably because Season 6 should be about a month long. I mean, October 7th is the release of Season 6, and then November 5th is the release of Vanguard. That's only less than a month at that point, and that's pretty much half a season, so it makes sense as to why there would be half the content in the season. But if we do get a Season 6 Reloaded update, that would release a day before Vanguard comes out, which doesn't really make sense to me, but that is the midpoint of the season, and I guess they could theoretically have content right as Vanguard releases as well, but in Cold War. I think most likely they're going to front load Season 6 with most, if not all, the new content in the game, and then focus on Vanguard when that game releases. And I can't imagine Treyarch having to deal with Vanguard Zombies, and then their next game in 2023, they have to start development on that, and then still Cold War with Season 6 Reloaded. I mean, it seems like way too much all at once, but let me know down below, would you want to see a Season 6 Reloaded update? I mean, would you even play a Reloaded update for Cold War, even though Vanguard is releasing probably about a day or 12 hours later? It depends on what they have in the Reloaded update, and honestly, I feel like there wouldn't be much in that update anyway. We're getting the DLC 4 map at the beginning of Season 6, so what could they possibly have in the Reloaded update that brings people over to Cold War instead of playing Vanguard? I mean, not to diss Treyarch or anything, but I feel like most people would want to play the new game, unless you guys are just like completely anti-Vanguard. So to me, it doesn't make too much sense. And that also brings us into the Cold War Year 2 DLC discussion. I mean, there have been countless reports and rumors of an extended Cold War DLC season. This game was supposed to have the most amount of post-launch, post-season content to date, and there were even statements from Activision about the potential of them supporting Cold War for multiple years after its release. And I think Treyarch developing Vanguard Zombies now puts a fairly decent wrench into those plans. I mean, potential Cold War Zombies Year 2 DLC that they may or may not have been developing or planning may have been just brought over to Vanguard Zombies instead, or that Year 2 DLC may have just been scrapped, which I hope is not the case. Hopefully they do repurpose that stuff if it was being made into something else. But Treyarch working on Vanguard Zombies does not help the Year 2 possibilities, but it doesn't completely end those possibilities. I mean, they could still add content to Cold War while also working on Vanguard Zombies, while also developing their next game in 2023. We could have new operators in Cold War, new store bundles, maybe some multiplayer maps every so often, like Modern Warfare 2019. Maybe we still see the Zombies Chronicles 2 maps, Transit, Die Rise, and Buried, added to Cold War Zombies during Vanguard's lifecycle, while they're also updating Vanguard Zombies. I mean, that'd be kind of crazy, but it could still happen. We just don't know for now, but like I said, it seems like a lot less likely, but we'll see very soon. Let me know down below your opinions on that. Now some more stuff on Zombies Chronicles 2 in Cold War or Vanguard Zombies. Someone commented on my recent video, please just give us Transit, Buried, and Die Rise remastered. That can't be so hard. And then someone else says, if those maps release on Cold War, they will fail. And then the other guy said, I want to agree, but I'm not so sure if I do. Why do you say that? Due to the Cold War engine and how we could spawn with whatever we want, and due to those map buildables, how we would even use them, much less equip them. With Transit, where would we get the EMP grenade for the Avogadro boss Easter egg? With Buried, how would you exfil? It's all underground. Die Rise, whilst fun, will trigger a ton of people. It really comes down to the buildables. Where would you equip the Trample Steam or the Turbine? With Transit, Pack-a-Punch would be an issue for people. Then the other guy says this, I can see how buildables would be an issue for certain things, like the jet gun. It could be acquired via a unique building system only on those maps, or via challenges. EMP grenades could be drops just like all tactical equipment in the game, except far more rare, maybe dropping from a minor boss. Exfilling on Buried, I don't know. There are solutions, but I don't think we will actually see the Cold War mechanics go away anytime soon. So the Zombies Chronicles 2 situation is very interesting because we don't know for sure exactly what goes on behind the scenes. We will never know for sure unless Treyarch officially tells us what they're doing. But from what we understand, these ZC2 maps, Transit, Die Rise, and Buried, are not really remasters, but they're remakes, and that means that these maps are completely changed around, they're reworked. So just because you had a certain thing in Transit on Black Ops 2 doesn't mean it will be in the Transit remake. So for the jet gun stuff, the EMP grenades, the buildables, any of the buildables from Black Ops 2, they could easily just not have those a part of the game. Now you may be thinking, well, some of the buildables on these BO2 maps are important and vital to playing the map. They're important for the Easter eggs, they're important for the actual map itself. I mean, Die Rise, you kind of need the Trample Steam to get across the two buildings, but you could just have the Mauer Toten zip lines on all parts of the map. That would be super cool and probably a better feature than the Trample Steams in Die Rise. And for the Easter eggs, they could completely rework the Easter eggs to have a Cold War theme to fit the Cold War gameplay mechanics. And if you think about it as well, these maps being remade probably wouldn't have anything to do with the storyline, so those Easter eggs wouldn't make sense to be there anyway. So the same Easter eggs we had in Transit, Die Rise, and Buried, I would assume are not there at all because they don't make sense in this Dark Aether story. So if they were to add these Zombie Chronicles 2 maps, they would either have completely new Easter eggs that fit the new story, or maybe no Easter eggs at all, which may seem like a weird thing, but to me, these maps being added to Cold War or even Vanguard Zombies, it's more of a side bonus thing instead of actual main content. So I'm looking at the main round-based map releases for new storyline and Easter eggs, and if they decide to have side bonus remakes, I wouldn't expect there to be new Easter eggs or even Easter eggs in general on these bonus remakes. But let me know down below, is that a make or break for you? Would you not want to play Buried if you can't do the Easter egg? It would be kind of weird because the Buried Easter egg, the sharpshooting last step, is super fun and super iconic, so it would kind of be sad to not be able to do that Easter egg in a remade version of Buried or Zombie Chronicles 2 in general. So let me know your opinions on that down below. It's an interesting situation. I just hope they decide to bring the maps back. My thinking is that I would rather have Transit, Die-Rise, and Buried remade. Maybe if it's not the exact same way it was back then, maybe if the maps don't have the same Easter eggs, at least we have the maps to play, at least we have those bonus maps, rather than them scrapping all of the plans and us not seeing the maps added to the game whatsoever. So let me know your opinions on that down below. And one final thing here about Vanguard Zombies, Codename Pizza tweets this out: things to make Vanguard Zombies succeed, a real crew to learn and love, operators are boring, Easter eggs that are harder to discover but simple to replicate, expand on story not via intel, conversation between real crew will help this, exclusive map mystery box weaponry. So let me know your opinions on this down below. I'm going to make a separate video coming very soon about what we want to see in Vanguard Zombies with all of these categories. I think overall he has good intentions and he has some pretty good points here. I don't think operators are going away, but if they had a couple more quotes about the story and what they're doing right now to make them more personable and relatable, that would be pretty cool. The Easter eggs, I mean, I like the Easter eggs in Cold War. I don't think they're that bad. I don't really mind that they're easy to discover, but, you know, people may like that if it's harder to discover and you have to really search for these steps. So let me know down below your opinions on that. Exclusive map mystery box weaponry, I 100% agree with, and I'm not just talking about wonder weapons, I'm talking about just normal weapons that you can only get in a certain map. Now, maybe they can't do this because of the create a class system in Cold War, how you have your classes that go across MP, Warzone, Zombies, and I don't know, maybe they can't do it now, but something about being able to only get the MG08 or whatever that LMG was in Origins, you can only get that LMG on that map. You can only get certain ARs and SMGs on Mob of the Dead, for example. It just made it so cool. You can only get that Remington pistol on Buried, I'm pretty sure, right? I mean, just cool stuff like that. It makes it interesting to play the map, and it gives you a reason to hit the mystery box as well. For Cold War Zombies, there's really no reason to hit the mystery box besides for trying to get the ray gun, so it would be a cool thing to have. But again, I'll have a separate longer video on all of that stuff, so leave your ideas down below. What do you want to see for Vanguard Zombies? All different aspects of the game: weapons, wonder weapons, the map, Easter eggs, crew, all of that good stuff. But that's pretty much it here for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment down below zombies if you watched the entire video. It is greatly appreciated. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.